Welcome back, all my Minecraftian friends. It is time for the episode 5 player update of the December 2015 Minecraft Hardcore Challenge, Trapped in the Nether. And episode 5 brought much death to the players. We're down to one page of players now. I don't have to turn the page to read the list. It's all on one page now. Let's get right into Minecraft so that we have something to stare at besides this ugly screen. Realms price drop in free trials. Anybody trying that? It's free. Let's see. Single player. I have to record my episode 6 right after this. Let's see what's going on in the Ocean Monument world. It looks like I'm mining. Well, see, let me put down a torch. There. And start with Ron Smalek. Ron Smalek, if you remember, is doing the Martian roleplay, and he went off looking for the pirate base. Ended up he was going around in circles. He was putting out markers, and every time he headed out in another direction he found one of his markers. So it looks like that the terrain is channeling him into a certain direction, and there's no base in that direction. So he was bridging across lava, but he did not find a base yet. Next we have John Fowl. John Fowl was exploring his fortress. He is killing wither skellies, collecting quartz. Went outside to collect quartz. There was a forest fire in the Nether. He planted some trees and they grew, and ghasts were shooting at him and hitting the trees. And anyway, he survived the forest fire, but later on in the episode, he was fighting ghasts, and I didn't know if you knew this or not, but when the ghast hit you with their fireballs, it knocks you back a little bit. And he was standing on the edge of one of those bridges, and the ghast hit him, and it knocked him off of the bridge, fell into the lava lake, and of course that was it for John Fowl. So John Fowl's out. Next on the list is Scody Garbitas and Piker Eyes. Optimus 1971 used to be on their team, but he retired early. Anyway, they are building a cobble tower in the Nether with an iron door and iron bars for the windows. Putting furnishings on the inside, using Nether fence for decorative touches on the outside. Looks pretty cool. Next we have Colony. Colony 9 or just Colony, I'm not sure. Anyway, Momo was killed by a blaze. If you remember last episode, she fought some mobs and got knocked down to half a heart, and she didn't have any food, and she was off in the fortress, and everyone else was back at the base, so there was no one close by to give her food. And I guess she was trying to get back or something, and a blaze hit her and took her out. So Mom of Miners dead in Colony. Okay, back at the base, they were having trouble herding their one chicken. He got out of his little house, chicken house, and or chicken coop, and they were trying to get him back in. At one point, a ghast shot a fireball into their farm. That wasn't too fun. Next we have Grandma's Gone Gaming. Grandma's potatoes have grown. She collected a lot of glowstone, and she's walling in the tree room. So the place she has her tree growing, she decided to build walls around it to completely enclose it, walls and ceiling. Next we have the King Crafter. The King Crafter worked on his pigman spawner, and then he worked on his netherrack house. No pigmen spawned on the spawner, but one pigman spawned on top of his house. So he started disassembling the spawner. I think maybe it was too high and pigmen can only spawn so far up. I don't know. I'll have to look up the rules on pigmen spawning. Next we have the team of Technoscribe, Momo, and Frank. That's Mom of Miners. She's not dead in their 3-person team this time, although she just died in the colony, but in the 3-person team she goes on. Anyway, they made a brewing stand. They put a brewing stand on the ceiling on a glowstone block, and then they put some other stuff on it and turned it into a brewing stand chandelier. And it looked really cool. And then they decided that they wanted to go off and find a different fortress, so they packed everything up, not including the chandelier. They left the chandelier and started trying to find a way out of the fortress onto the main open area of the Nether. But everywhere they turned, they found lava lakes. So they haven't yet found a way out of the fortress. It's like they're trapped in the fortress. Next we have Box. Box collected some quartz and had a lot of fun playing with gas. Next is J-Gaz Mom. J-Gaz Mom also collected quartz, and her trees are growing, but not so much her farm. Growing slowly. Next we have Johnny Raichu. Johnny Raichu is trying to kill wither skeletons, and he also took out a pigman or two. Next we have Ong Ong. He is exploring his fortress, hunting wither skeletons. He stepped into lava, but it knocked him down to 1 heart, but he recovered. And then he was withered, and that knocked him down, but he recovered from that, and he kept on fighting. So he did not die this episode. Next we have Baker Bell. Baker Bell found a fortress. She went exploring in the fortress. She killed a wither skeleton and got a wither skeleton skull, so that was cool. She found chests in the fortress. She found diamonds in the chests. Then she found more chests with more diamonds and more chests with more diamonds. She ended up with a lot of diamonds. So after seeing that, I'm thinking I'm going to have to go out and explore my fortress instead of just staying in the safe room. Next we have Load Central. If you remember last episode, they were down to just 3 girls, or 3 women, let's say. Well, in this episode, they collected some glowstone, started making a quartz monument, and then Jessie was collecting quartz, I think, and she broke a block and some lava flowed around it and hit her, and she walked away, but it was too late. She took too much fire damage and Jess is dead, which only leaves the 2 Baker Bell and Carly are the only ones left in the Load Central team. We'll see how they do. Hopefully they can last 3 more episodes. Next we have Digger Dad. Digger Dad's collecting quartz. He's making nether brick. His crops are growing. He started building something with his nether brick. We don't know what yet. So far it's just an arch, but probably a house. And finally, we have a Minecraft Master. A Minecraft Master was exploring his fortress and found a chest, opened the chest up, and there was 4 obsidian in the chest. Minecraft Master is the one that's been collecting obsidian. This 4 brought him up to a total of 10. 10 obsidian. He made a portal and came back to the overworld. He's the first one to escape being trapped in the Nether. Okay, he made it back to the overworld. His portal in the overworld landed him in the middle of a deep ocean, with the portal was up in the air, in the midair above the ocean. There's no land in sight. So he built a little nether brick staircase down to the water, put a boat in it, and headed off. Went sailing. Found a birch forest. In the birch forest he found a ravine. In the ravine, he found some iron, got himself full iron armor, and also found an abandoned mine, although he hasn't approached the abandoned mine yet. Doesn't really know if he needs anything from it. That is it for episode 5. I'll see you all in episode 6.